I'm back playing Mini Rogue again, this time as the Crusader. Last time we played as the Rogue and I said I haven't really had any success with the Crusader yet, so I wanted to try them again. Their combat ability allows us to apply twice the value of our shield as damage, sort of bashing with our shield, which is the armor stat. And the exploration skill raises the armor of all players by 1 for the next room. So if you know you're going to head into combat, you can raise your armor by 1. However, if you use that, you can not use the stun then in that following combat, because obviously you've used your character's skill. I just noticed I have 1 armor too little, because that's another thing about the Crusader. They start with 1 armor, but no gold. And then we have 10 HP again, and this time 4 food rations. I think the Rogue had only 3. Again, playing on the dungeon map, just to make it a bit more interesting in case we fall. And I've already set up the cards. Let's just go right ahead and look what our first room holds. Of course, a trap. Wouldn't be a game of Mini Rogue if you didn't start on a trap. Which means we can already lose our shield on the first room, our armor, which is what I was talking about last time. Let's see. But not for us. That's a success on a 5, which gives us a potion of perception. Now these we didn't even use last run. I think we never had one. They can either cleanse blindness, or you can use them to automatically succeed a skill check. So if we run into another trap, we can automatically use that to succeed the trap. Or in this case, we could use it to be guaranteed to get a bit more loot from the treasure. Because if you remember, you always get coins. We would even get extra coins in this case, because we already went through a trap. But we need to roll a success to be able to get the items or health or whatever else we can get from the treasure chest. So I think I might just do that, although this is a trapped one. Also, I think I made a little mistake in the last video. When facing these treasure chests, I interpreted this as you gain 1 gold, and if you faced the trap or the monster, you gain another +3 gold. But there's a little slash in between them. It's hard to see because of the lighting, which basically means or. So we either can gain a gold, or we can gain 3 gold if we meet the requirements. So I think once or twice I gained 1 gold coin too much or too many. So this time we're going to do it correctly. So 3 gold for us, and I'll use the perception potion to be guaranteed to get something from this treasure chest. And it's a 3, which is 5 HP. Not bad. Not that exciting either. I would have liked another potion, but can't complain. Ooh, armory. You know I like the armory. Now if we hadn't used our potion now, we could have gone through the hermit, swapped the trap in front of us, gone through the trap again, used the potion to have success there, and possibly gained another piece of armor. Because that's obviously one of my goals this run, is to maximize our chances of getting armor, to maybe be able to use the stun effectively. But doesn't look like it, because we've already used the potion, and I don't see the point in using the hermit We could visit the treasure a second time, but I like the armory, so. But the armory doesn't like me. The black die is really shiny, so it's hard to see. I think you saw that roll, so nothing for us there. And that's the crow or a fight. Let's fight. We can at least do 2 damage using our stun. Or we could go into that fight with 2 armor. That's actually better. So I'm gonna use the shield to raise my armor by 1 temporarily. I'll do it with the second cube so I know it's not permanent in case I forget. And now we'll be able to go into this monster fight here with 2 armor, and the monster only does 2 damage. So unless it crits us, it won't be able to do any damage to us. Let's attack. So monster doesn't crit, so no damage done to us, and we do 4 damage. Next round. And we do another 4 damage, so the monster didn't even stand a chance. Gain a point of XP and head down to the next floor. And now remove the temporary cube. So spend food, go down. Let's have a look at our boss together here. It's the Spider Queen again. And I'll quickly reset the area and be right back. Area is ready. Let's see what our first room holds for us. And it's the Mimic again. I've seen it a lot, so only 1 gold for us, because we haven't faced anything else on this floor yet, or this area. And we got a roll. Let's hope we don't fight the ghost. But that's not even a success. So weirdly enough, because we didn't succeed there, it saved us from fighting the ghost, because if we did, we would have opened the treasure chest and on a 6 you have to fight the ghost, but would have also gained 1 armor, so. But this way, nothing happens at all. Not gonna be fighting the monster, because I wanna save my skill for the Spider Queen. And the best it can give us is 1 XP. So I'll just go down to the bonfire and take the 1 XP regardless. Much easier. Okay, another monster. Exact same stats. On this floor at least. Now, do we risk the trap? I really don't want to fight, but I also don't really want to fall, because this is one of those traps that can have us fall down a floor. So I think I'll be fighting after all. Only has 6 HP and we have at least 1 armor, so I hope we'll be able to take a maximum of 1 damage this fight. But not even necessary. So the monster crits us, but we crit as well, and our damage is dealt first. So we just 1-hit KO the monster. And we move on. And another trap. This floor is riddled with them. So this I'm not too concerned with. I mean, it would obviously suck losing our armor, but at least we can't fall down. That's not a success, and that's a 2. So we lose HP equal to our floor, so 1 HP. No, that's not our HP. Like that. Not too bad. Let's go fight the Spider Queen. So she's got 12 and poisons us. But I'm going to... Oh, sorry, yeah. So I was meaning to use our shield again. I was talking about it earlier. Which you gotta use as an exploration. So after revealing the next card, but before going to it. So, yeah. And again, we have 2 armor, and the Spider Queen only does 2 damage on floor 1. And I think I explained in the last video, if none of the damage come through, you also don't get afflicted. So she would poison us, but this way she can't even poison us if she doesn't crit. Let's attack her. That's a miss from her, so wouldn't even have needed the armor, at least on that round. Let's see if we can do 9 damage now. We might be able to. So because she isn't doing any damage to us, I take the risk of rerolling the crit. Yeah, so that's 11. So she never stood a chance. Another 2 XP for us and a roll on the rewards table. So as opposed to last game, we are almost at level 2. I think last game that took us a bit longer. So we gain the 2 gold flat and we get to roll. Let's hope for armor. I mean, there's a 1 in 3 chance. Or XP would also be nice. There's a lot of great stuff here. It's a 6, so a perception potion or armor. So I'll take the armor. Just remove that cube like that. I like perception potions, especially because it can save you from a trap that you land on, so didn't have a choice of visiting or something like that. But we're trying to max our armor, so I'll stick with that theme. Let's go down, spend the food, and reset the board. Oh, and also I need to get rid of her. First room, a tomb. So this is one of those little events. It can be good or bad, and if you roll a success you can adjust the die, like the mushroom cave, and I think, are there any else? I don't know. That's a success, okay. So the 4 is a codex, which is 1 XP, but we could adjust that to 1 piece of gold or losing a piece of food, but I think the 4 is great. So that way we are already at level 2, at the start of floor 2, which is great. And I obviously don't want to lose food, and that 1 piece of gold don't think is going to bite us, come to bite us, that decision. Okay, a shrine or a merchant. I usually like to avoid the shrine because there's such a high chance of getting cursed. And we have 6 gold, so we can actually just buy another piece of armor for 5. Now usually I would probably buy potions, like a holy or healing potion or maybe perception, but as I said, I'm going to try the armor strategy, because if we get to 4 armor quickly, we can always use our stun to do 8 damage in the first round of combat, which seems great. So likewise here, I'm going to fight the monster, which is the burrowing worm, which fits the artwork for once. He's got 6 HP. I'm just gonna use my stun as a combat ability and do 6 damage to him. And he's dead. Now the reason I didn't roll first is you have to use combat abilities before the combat turn, before each turn. And so I think that means before rolling the dice, like we did with the rogue as well. And I didn't want to take the risk of falling down, because this is actually a nasty monster on floor 2 that can have you fall down a floor if it hits you only once. Although actually, now that I look at that, we wouldn't take any damage from him anyways. But there's still the chance he crits us, so I think this was the more astute choice. Although we will be fighting another monster after that. This one's got 9 HP, so we probably won't kill him in one round. But he only does 4 damage, so at least we are blocking a lot of that. No, looks like we aren't. So we do 5 damage and get a nasty crit for 4. Down to 10 again. Let's roll again. And complete misses on our part. Now I could spend an XP or 2 HP to try and reroll and kill him, but I think the much better deal is to just take 1 point of damage, because only 1 goes through our armor, and then get the reroll of both dice. That isn't looking too great. Yeah, so again, I don't think it makes any sense to lose a HP or XP to reroll, because for only 1 point of HP we get a completely new turn. Wow, shit rolls again. Sorry, bad rolls again. Yeah, but that's exactly enough. Didn't think he'd live that long. Okay, let's go down. We're down to our last piece of food, so we'll have to start looking at that soon. Let's see what our boss will be, the Cursed Dragon. Yeah, so he has the exact same stats as the Spider Queen, but uses Curse instead of Poison. So that means he'll have 16 HP when we face him. And I think if we can get up to 4 armor till then, that would be great, because doing 8 damage to him if he only has 16 on the first round sounds like it might even enable us to kill him on the first round, combined with our 2 dice. So look for armor and look for food. I reset the floor, and then let's see what our first room is. The Merchant again. Now, that's kind of a dead card for us because we have no money. Actually, that's not true. We can spend 1 gold for 1 HP. Sure, let's do it. Another monster, the worm again. Or a treasure chest. It's kind of a hard choice. I think I'll try the worm because we have 3 armor. But if he crits us, I'm going to be super annoyed. But I think then we just have to spend HP to try and do 6 damage in the first round. As I said, I kind of wanna... Oh, but we could look for armor in the treasure chest. Hard choice. No, I'll fight the worm because he gives 2 XP for a monster that only has 6 HP, which seems like a great deal. So let's just hope he doesn't crit. And of course he does, but we do 7 damage before anything can happen to us. Whew, that was close. Almost fell down a floor there. But this way we just gain that sweet, sweet XP. And that's another hermit. And another treasure chest, this time not even a mimic. Again, I don't really know what I would do with the hermit, so I'll go and have a look at the treasure chest. We gain 2 gold. Because we fought the monster before, and with our 2 dice, let's hope we are able to open it, which we are, and that's a 5, which is another 2 XP or a healing potion. I love XP, but I love healing potions as well. Yeah, this is kind of, do we want to go a bit more defensive or offensive? I mean, power leveling to level 3 is usually really good early on. but our HP isn't looking too hot, so we can heal in other ways, right? Let's be greedy. There's the bonfire and there's an empty shelter. Okay, so we can heal in other ways. Now the empty shelter would only give us 1 HP, but again could give us potions. Could also have us fight, which is a bit scary right before the boss. Or the bonfire just for 2 flat HP. Or even a piece of food. We actually wanted food, right? I think I'll do the empty shelter. A bit more risk, bit higher reward if it pays off. As I said, I like taking risks in this game. Let's see if we can't find something good. Okay, so no adjustment for us. A fighter's shelter. So that's either a fire potion, a poison potion, or another 2 XP. And I think you all already know what I'm going to go for. Another 2 XP. So this does mean that in the later game we'll get a lot of XP just passively. That doesn't really help us level up anymore. But you can use XP for treats. Treats? It would be nice. For feats. I'm sorry. And that's always great to have. We didn't have that on the last run, that luxury. And having these extra XP here, the extra 5 feats in the boss fight, not bad. So let's fight the cursed dragon, 16. Now again, before I move into that room, we have a bit of a strategic choice here. Do we want to go defensive or offensive? So I could raise my armor by 1, which would put me at 4 armor, so the dragon wouldn't be doing any damage and not cursing me, unless they crit. Or, as I said earlier, I could just go in and try to shield bash him, but only for 6, and then see if we can't do 10 damage to him. Now I think because we didn't get our armor up to 4, and so that we would need to do 10 damage in the first round instead of just 8, to not get cursed, I'll do the defensive play and raise my armor and hope they don't crit us. Of course, that's a crit. I feel like I've said that several times already and it always was a crit right after. So we are doing 9. But so that wouldn't have been enough even with the stun or the bash. So yeah. Could try to reroll that, but I don't think we're getting to 16. So we take 4 damage, which is a lot, and we are cursed. So that's a really bad turn of events for us. But we took a risk. 1 in 6 chance of failing, so I think it's still the right risk to take, but in this case we got unlucky. And they crit again, but so what have we done here? I need to puzzle this out, because this is the cursed skull, this is only a 4 and this is only a 5, so 9 damage, and we can't keep exploding the crit roll because it's downgraded to 5, but they only have 7 HP left, so thank God we killed them, and that would have been another crit. So I don't know what's up with these monsters. So we gain 3 XP, putting us at level 3 already, and we roll on the rewards. Let's hope we maybe get a holy potion to be able to cleanse our just had a brain fart, to cleanse our curse. So we gain 2 gold and we roll, And that's a 4, which is either a healing potion or another piece of armor. Now I gotta read that back. Raise the armor of all players by 1 for the next room only. I don't know if that means we can't actually gain another piece of armor here. But that's just semantics, I think. Yeah, I think I'll take the piece of armor. If that's the wrong way to rule it, I don't know. And let's head down to the next floor. Spend a piece of food. Get a skill back and I'll reset the board. Okay, let's continue. Actually, gotta get rid of the dragon as well. So I just had a thought. I think I'll not take the armor and take the healing potion instead, because I saw that my HP was down to 6. I had kind of ignored that we got hit there. I only focused on the curse, but we obviously lost a lot of health as well. So our 4th piece of armor has to wait. And we'll play it a bit safer and have a healing potion for hard times, because we ultimately want one. Ooh, that's a shrine. So that's the one time I'm happy about finding a shrine, because this now has a pretty good chance of cleansing our curse. I'll spend the gold to get a +1, and I don't actually even need to roll all these dice. I only need to roll the dungeon die. But that's still a 1. But thanks to our little gold offering, it turns into a 2, so at least we don't get poisoned, we just get cursed. And we already are cursed, so can't be double cursed. So at least you can always prevent the poison by spending 1 gold. And if you're already cursed, it really can only benefit you. But in this case we didn't even have a choice. So a lesser worm, 12 HP, which we could do 6 damage to them right away. But we also need to find food, right? So the corridor has an okay chance of giving us food, I think, because we also have a good chance of rolling a success. Although with the curse, this is hard, but I'll have to look at the food because we're so low on health. I don't really want to starve and lose another 3. So yeah, let's roll. Hope we don't roll the curse. Okay, so we rolled the curse, which means this is not a success because it's essentially a 4. And the corridor has rolled a 6. Which is an ambush. So we are fighting anyways. We are fighting the Shade, which has 14. So I will... Oh, but at least the Shade only does 3 damage, so it won't get through our armor, unless it crits, which the monsters always have, if I've said that before. Yeah, so let's use our stun, doing 6 damage to them, so they're down to 8, and see if we can't just roll 8 damage. And the curse didn't even proc, and we aren't critted, so all is good, but this is 11 damage anyways. Killing the Shade, gaining 3 XP, at least that's a bit of fuel for doing feats. So the ambush wasn't that bad, but still didn't get any food. Now the merchant is interesting, but they don't actually sell any food, the hunter does. The only thing we could really buy is health, or actually a cleanse. I'm going to have to do that because the curse is so annoying. So for 2 gold we get a cleanse, removes our curse, and yeah, let's again spend our last gold coin on another HP. And another monster, This floor is pretty packed with monsters. The Undead Arbalist. They do 6 damage and poison us, so we're gonna get poisoned unless they miss, or we somehow deal 12 damage on the first round. Let's have a try. I mean, we're not cursed anymore, so there's a greater chance for high damage. But no, so this is pretty bad. They are going to even crit us, and I can't really take 6 damage and the poison right now because that risks me dying, and I really don't want to just eat that up and basically lose the whole healing potion. So I'm gonna have to try to get to 12. I think we just got the XP, and they will drop 2 XP as well, so might even be able to make this not that bad. So I'm gonna spend 1 XP for a reroll on this one. So now we're at 10. I'm gonna spend another XP for a reroll on this one. And as I said, you can only really reroll each die once. Now do we wanna sort of shoot for the moon and see if we can get up to 12? That would require a 6. I'm gonna have to try because I really don't want to take that damage straight to the face. But that's the 4 again. So just shy. 10 damage, and we take 6. And we are poisoned. And I said I was gonna use the healing potion. That's really bad. We just cleansed as well. Okay, yeah, so of course now we suddenly roll 16 damage in one single roll. We take 1 poison damage and we totally overkill the guy, getting 2 XP back. So this whole fight cost us 1 XP and got us poisoned and cost us a healing potion, so terrible stuff. Let's head down. Let's not actually, because we didn't even get food. I should have gone to the cave, but I really wanted to get rid of the curse. But I didn't even think about the food. So we're taking another 3 damage, heading down, refreshing our skill. Not looking too great. Let's look into our first room. It's a trap. And now every time, even on the skill checks, we're going to be rolling this poison die. And taking damage, it seems. So another point of poison damage. That's at least a success on a 6, which is 4 gold. So that's pretty nice. I really want to come across a way to cleanse. Or the shelter, I think, could save our run here. But the tomb could give us food. No, but 1 food is really only worth 3 HP, and the shelter already gives us 8 to begin with. So it's just better straight up. Let's roll and see if we can't find a holy potion or maybe a healing potion. Ooh, didn't even get poisoned there. So no success and a 6, which is another ambush, which is the ghost again, or the shade. But I think we learned last time that the shade wasn't even that big of a problem. I'm gonna, because we still have a lot of rooms left and there might be another monster under here, I think I'm not gonna use the stun against the ghost because they only do 3 damage. And just bank on the fact that it doesn't crit us, because that worked so good in the past. Yeah, let's just try. So they don't crit, which is nice. We take 1 point of poison damage. So our armor completely blocks the attack and we do 11 damage. Okay, another roll. And that's 10 damage. They crit but don't get the chance. So plus 3 XP. Now we've reached the maximum after 2. And the last point of XP is then converted into HP. That's another benefit of hardlining XP early game. Every other point of XP you sort of gain over the maximum gets turned into health. So we might be able to get some passive healing over fights. Okay, that didn't go too badly. Didn't get the healing potion I wanted, but we are at max HP. Now, a trap or a crow. I think we gotta go to the trap because it could give us 2 food. And we have a pretty nice chance of succeeding. And the crow would only take 1 money because we don't have any food to offer. Yeah, I'm gonna do the trap. Luckily that's a success. I saw the first 2 dice fall down and was scared. Success on a 4, which is the thick web, which gives us 2 food. Perfect. Game has kind of turned around, at least for now. Let's do the treasure. Gain 2 gold because we fought the ghost and seen the trap before. And let's try and open it. Been lucky on the poison die, but not on the successes. So that holds nothing for us. Let's go down to the next floor, spend 1 food. Didn't even use our ability at all, but that wasn't too bad. And that's the ghoul. Now, I said last time he's really annoying to face early on because he completely drains your XP. He penetrates armor no matter what, so our armor won't do us any good, so we will lose XP against him. But he also gives 5 on the last boss floor, so on floor 3. Yeah, I don't really know what a good tactic would be against him. I think just high damage to keep the fight as short as possible. I can't think of anything else. Let's see what the first room holds for us. The merchant. Now this is great timing, I think, because we just got a bunch of gold. Now what's our priority? We could buy our last piece of armor, which is nice. Having 4 armor is great, and as we saw in the last run, it's also worth quite a bit, so it's can sell it later, but that only really makes sense if you're maxed on gold otherwise. Could buy just some health or a potion. I don't know. I think I'll buy the potion. There's other ways of coming by armor. And I'll buy another healing potion again. Although that doesn't really make sense, does it? We could just spend actually our whole 6 gold for 8 HP. That's more efficient than the healing potion. Okay, let's see what awaits us. A monster, which we don't really want to fight, or the mushroom cave. Let's have some fun with the mushrooms. Oh, I didn't even cleanse. I could have... Well, too late. I revealed the cards. I should have really cleansed at the merchant, got rid of the poison. Although the 8 HP also just equate to another 8 rounds of poison if we want. Yeah, so I'll just do the cave, that was my bad. So, poison. Punished immediately. And that's a success on a 1, which would be a fight. But we can turn that into the brown cap, which is a ration. Ooh, now the hermit. Or another monster. I don't want to fight the monster because it would be a dire wolf and he pierces armor. Also gives food actually. So I'll just go over to the hermit. And I don't really know what to swap. Could revisit the damn cave if we wanted to. Revisit the merchant. No, we don't have any money. So because there's a chance of this being another monster, I'm going to swap it away. Usually I like mystery. But with the cave, I'm at least confident it's not gonna be too terrible. There's obviously a chance of that being a fight as well. And who knows, this might have been something great, but yeah. That's a lot of successes and another point of poison damage. I'm getting really annoyed, I forgot to cleanse. So that's a 2, which is the brown cap, and we could turn that into a grey cap, which is also food. Or a fight. Okay, let's just take the food and fight the ghoul. Now it doesn't really make sense to raise my armor for this fight, because as I said, his attacks go through armor. So I'm just gonna use it as the shield stun or bash, doing 6 damage. He has 25, so he's quite tanky. So he goes down to 19 right away. We take a point of poison damage and do 13 to him. And he would hit us like this. So do we re-roll? Okay, because we have so much XP, I'm gonna spend one of those XP points and re-roll the 3. I'm not gonna re-roll the 5s. I think that would be stupid. Okay, 1 XP for 1 more damage. 14. Not really great value there. We take 4 and lose 1 XP. And let's move on to the next round. So no poison, which is a nice change of pace, and 12 damage, so we managed to only get hit once, and we gain 5 XP. Now I gotta quickly look up if this means we gain 3 HP or only 1, because I don't know if it's just every time we gain XP and can't gain them, or every point of XP that is converted. Okay, so works the way you would think, which is any XP that you gain over the limit are directly converted to HP. So we're going to get 2 XP and 3 HP, so actually only took a point of damage that whole fight, in some at least. And we get to roll on the rewards again, which are shiny. Okay. 2 gold for us, and let's get that 4th piece of armor, or a nice potion. A 3, that's a poison potion or 2 XP. Okay, so that would be another 2 health, but I think I will take the poison. Might help us speed up a fight. And wow, this is going so quickly now. Let's go down. And I forgot to get rid of the ghoul again. Let's look under our first room. It's a tomb. Sick rhymes. And let's just roll. Ooh. So another point of poison. Should really look at getting rid of that. A success on a 6. 6 would be a ghost. We could shift that down to a 5, which is also negative. That's a red swarm, losing 1 HP. I'll have to look at the ghost, because it got stronger. 16. And it goes through armor. No, I'm not gonna do that. Screw that. Let's just lose the piece of food. We'll find some elsewhere. I was already happy because we had 2 food and 2 more floors to go down to left, so I thought I didn't have to worry about food, but oh well. Empty shelter or hermit. You know I like the empty shelter, even though it's not gonna heal us. Yeah, let's do it. Just because there's a chance of getting potions. So that's a success. Okay, take 1 damage from the poison. We've rolled a 6. Oh no. So the 6 would be the ghost again. And we can shift it to a 5, which is negative as well. So similar to the tomb. But this time it would be losing 3 HP. Now I really gotta think right here. So the ghost is gonna hit us for 5. Which goes through armor, but we might be able to do 16 damage in 1 round with our bash, and we gain the XP from him, which is another 3 HP. So I think actually fighting the ghost is probably better than losing 3 HP. Let's do it. So we are at 12 right now. Let's see if we're, after the ghost fight, higher than 9. This was the right decision. Otherwise should have just taken the 3 HP. Now I didn't think of the poison. We're going to be taking poison damage as well. Of course. So this 50-50 die, that's really a lie. It rolls poison every time. Oh, but I just saw the ghost is missing. Oh, that's great. So I'll just take the 1 point of poison gladly. And oh, we're doing 15 damage. I even forgot to use my stun, and my crit has turned into nothing. Okay, this went downhill quickly, but we're still doing 9 damage. I'm not too worried because he missed, so that's all good. Do we stun him? No, we can do 7 damage with our dice. Right. Didn't even take poison damage. So let's just kill him before he hits us. So we gain 3 XP, which are converted to HP directly. So actually we are at 14, so that was a positive. Nice. Yeah, so I think sort of thinking about these little things, when is it great to fight the ghost, or at least not too terrible, and when is it bad, and sort of these little small decisions that the game gives you can have an effect. Now obviously this fight could have gone way worse, we could have just kept missing and so on. It's all about chances and probability. It's a dice game after all, but I don't know, I just like that these little decisions pop up, and if you think about them, you can then sort of see what strategy was the right one afterwards. Now while I've been talking, I've been looking at these and I can't really decide once again. Now because we can't fall down and the corridor could give us more food, and worst we would fight the ghost, which we just learned is actually probably okay. We still have the stun left as well. I'm just gonna go into the corridor. So that's poison. And a 5. Which would be losing 2 HP and falling down, but because we rolled a success, I'll shift that to a 4, gaining 1 piece of food. Perfect. Another trap. And another trap. Okay, so this weird floor is just 3 traps and 3 of these little events and a hermit. That's super strange. Okay, so we have sort of a higher risk trap, higher reward, or a trap with really low risk. I mean, even losing 2 XP would be annoying, but not really too much of a pain for us. I'll go for the lower risk one this time. See if we can't get some gold. Oh, that's a success. Okay, that's poison again. And a success on a 5, which is the labyrinth. So that's 4 gold. Let's see if we can't find a hermit. Going down. Spend 1 food. Didn't even use our ability. And there we are. Let's look on our first room. Ooh, the armory. Haven't seen that since floor 1, I think. That's another good use of perception potions, because it's so annoying to not roll a success on the armory and then just not get anything. And if you have a perception potion, you're guaranteed to be able to take a weapon. But we don't, so no poison for us. And a success on a 5. That's the longsword again. Had that in the last run as well, which are 2 free feats, so this is nice. Yeah, so I was just about to say, even though the run is going pretty nicely so far, the last few floors have been good to us, I think. We need to look at sort of gearing up for the boss. So I want a holy potion to be able to get rid of the curse. And I kind of want to get up to full HP or even take a healing potion in. I don't really want the poison potion for the boss. I think it's just kind of bad because he has 2 phases to use the poison potion and only be able to use it on 1. Okay, so fighting a monster. At this point, fighting monsters only really gives us XP, which in turn will give us HP. Now that's fine, but the risk of being poisoned, but actually we are already poisoned, but still he does quite a bit of damage. So I'll just keep going to the empty shelter if I see it, and try for some potions. Ooh, now that's a success on a 6. Oh, that's the same thing we had just happened to us last floor, I think, or last area. So again, take 3 damage or fight the ghost. As we've learned, fighting the ghost might not be too bad for us. Let's do it. 16 HP. This time I'll remember to use my stun, even though last time it was fine anyways. But that's because we rolled great, so let's use the stun. And yeah, that does 6 damage to him. And let's just roll for 10. Ooh. Now that's a bad roll. Yeah, so I'll have to do some feats. The crit doesn't matter because he goes through armor anyways. But those rolls. So let's spend an XP to do a feat, which turned into an X. Spend another XP to do a feat, turned into a 2. Let's spend another XP to reroll the 2 and hope for just a miracle. Now that's the opposite of a miracle. Wow. Okay, let's use a poison potion before I forget we have it. So we'll be doing 6 damage. And the poison will kill him next round for sure. But he will hit us for 5. Now that hurts. And yeah, I don't know what to do. So the reason I didn't use my armory there is I want to save it for the boss fight if possible. Because I think spending a few XP we'll be able to get those back from this fight as well. And then go into the final boss fight with 5 and another 2, so with 7 basically free feats. Yeah, but for that we gotta survive this. Okay, so I'm just rolling to see if we take poison damage there, because we know we're going to kill him using our poison potion, which does 4 per round. And that way, yeah, that hit was really bad. So, but we gain 3 XP back, so at least our feats. Now that was probably in this case worse than just taking the 3 damage. Not only probably, it definitely was, because we took more and we used our poison potion. So maybe we just got lucky earlier. Or maybe it was a weaker ghost, I don't even remember actually. Yeah, I think my error here was that earlier it was the shade which does less damage. It doesn't go through armor, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Can't remember. Now actually, looking at this, I'll go to the hermit, switch 2 cards, or 2 doors, and revisit the empty shelter to get back up to 10, so at least something. And let's try our luck again. That's another point of poison damage, so I don't know for how long we've been poisoned now, but just can't seem to get rid of it. And when we had the chance, I ignored it. But that's a success on a 5. Oh, we can shift that to a 4, so we can gain a holy or a healing potion. Now at this point, a healing potion might even... But I really want the holy potion for the boss. So I think I'll take the holy potion. Do I play it risky and hold off on using it so I can... Because we're going to get poisoned in the boss fight anyway, in the second phase. So it might be more sensible to just... Nah, but that doesn't make sense, does it? I think I'll take the healing, actually, and just instantly drink it, going up to 15, and hope that wasn't the wrong choice. Yeah. Oh, I'm already resetting the floor. So going down, spending our last piece of food, get back our skill, and I guess I reset the floor on camera this time because I'm already on it. Yeah, we'll be fighting Orc's Remains soon. So I didn't even expect to make it this far. My last runs with the Crusader have been really bad, as I said. And I still think the character isn't too great. Might be in co-op with the extra shield, but applying this damage, I mean, it seems neat, but twice the value of your shield. So far, that's 6 damage, and the mage can always use a free sort of potion effect as his combat ability. One of the offensive potions, so fire, frost, or poison. So they can always actually freeze or stun the enemy for 1 round. Or just use the fire, which does, I think, 6 damage as well. Or just poison them, which does 4 per round, so that's 8 in... No, the fire even does 7 damage. So the ability of the mage is much more versatile, and the Crusader is only able to do more damage using his combat ability if he is at 4 armor, because then you can do 8 in 1 round instead of 7 with the mage. So I think in every other situation the mage is strictly better. I don't know. So that was a little rant. Let's look into the first room. Drop the poison die. That's another way to cleanse yourself, but we don't play like that here. And that's the merchant. Okay. Why am I rolling? Let's first of all use 2 of our gold to get rid of this poison. Took me long enough. Now let's see. Oh, and we got a flip over Ox Remains actually. So I'm tempted to sell armor for gold and buy potions again. He does 8 damage per round, with our 3 armor 5. Now that does actually buy us more rounds. But 1 piece of armor still is only gonna block like maybe 4 damage the whole fight if it takes 2 turns each for each phase, or maybe 5. So I still think 1 piece of armor is worth giving up for a healing potion. So I'm going to do that. We get 3 gold for that. Or do I just heal for that? No, so I think I will buy a healing potion. And I will spend our last 2 gold on HP. Let's hope that's the right choice. And there's a bonfire and a treasure chest. Not even a trapped one, so I think we will just go have a crack at the treasure chest. We get 1 gold. Let's see, we might be able to get another potion here. We have space for 1, so. And so another negative of selling the armor is our stun gets weaker, but yeah, as I said, I don't know, I'm not amazed by the stun. So that's not a success. I don't know what I was thinking long about there. So we can visit a trap or the treasure. Now do we risk it to try and get a potion of the treasure chest? If we fight the ghost again, that's really gonna suck. Losing some XP from the trap is probably fine. No, so I think I will risk it. Have a bit of fun. Let's get 1 gold. See if we can't find a potion. Okay, so not a success, so nothing happens. That would have been 2 gold anyways, so. And another empty shelter, okay. So we're up to 10, but let's again see if we can't find a potion. I really want that potion. Okay, a success on a 1, which doesn't really do anything because a 1 and a 2 have the same effect. So that's going to be the fighter's shelter. 2 XP, which would heal us for 2. A poison or a fire potion. So I think I will just take the fire potion. 7 damage is nice to have. Although the poison potion might do more as a whole. So if we stun, we do 4. If we use the fire, we do another 7, which is 11, and he has 25. So we need to do 14 in 1 round. With feats, maybe? Do we want to try and have a shot at one-shotting the first phase before it can hit us? Because we don't have a holy potion. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can get around the curse that way. Because that curse is so annoying on the second phase, not being able to crit and just dealing less damage in general. Okay, 25. We have all of our free feats. We have our healing, gotta remember that. We have the fire. Let's do it. Now originally I was thinking about using the shield for this and going up to 3 armor just for the fight. But as I just said, I'll try and shoot for a 1 hit. And you might have heard my doorbell go off there. right before the first attack. So I'm back. What was I saying? I think we were going to use our stun to try and one-hit the guy, or his first phase, together with the fire potion and our attack roll. Yeah, sounds about right. So the stun does 4 damage, putting him at 21. Our attack, oh no, he's critting. Why? Why are the monsters critting so much? I feel like I've rolled a lot of crits for them. So this is 11 damage and our fire potion will do 7, I think I said. So how much do we need? We need 14. Yeah, let's do some feats. Let's use one of the feats from the armory. Reroll the 3. Into a miss, okay. Bad stuff. Do we keep going? I think we don't, because if we want to get to 14, we'd really need like a 6, and yeah, so I think our plan just kind of failed. I'll use the fire potion, so that's going to be 7 plus the 8 from the attack, so 15 damage. He's at 6. He hits us for 8, which is really a lot. And we get cursed, which was what I was trying to prevent with this whole, with this whole strat. Let's attack back. Okay, at least we didn't roll the curse. And we rolled an 8, so only got hit once from his first phase. I'll also use the healing potion, putting us at 15. And down we go, or down he goes. Now, phase 2. So as far as I know, he doesn't attack now because the rulebook says to treat the 2 phases like 2 fights. So I think we sort of killed the first phase, and he turns, and then we get the first attack again. That's at least what it sounds like to me. So now we can only get hit once, I think. So are we able to do 20 damage in 2 turns? I think so, right? But with the curse, I don't know. Yeah, so curse, so no crits for us, so we won't be able to reroll that. So these 11 damage are actually only 8. Let's use another feat to reroll the 2. So I think you can't use feats to reroll your curse die, although that would be kind of cool. But at least that's something. So, what was I saying? So this would be 14 without the curse, so it'll be 11. Yeah, so that's enough. And let's just have him attack us for 9, which will put us at 6 and poison us. So now we're rolling all the dice and just hope we don't roll the skull, so we do a lot of damage and don't even have to think about doing feats. But that's the skull, and that's a crit from him. Actually, I just realized he didn't do 9 to us because he didn't crit the previous round. So we should have 2 more HP. Not that that's gonna save us anything. We would have survived another hit if this didn't crit. So poison, that's that. 11 minus 2, so 9. That's exactly enough, perfect. Okay, so don't even have to think about doing any sort of rerolls, and I mean, he would have killed us if he hit us, but we killed him first. Wow, okay. Ox remains. Gone. Yeah, so the Crusader, I don't know. I'm still not too... I know I just won with the guy, but I'm still not too happy with the character, or I don't know. It's kind of cool to start with armor, and it was nice to have these fights where we were like safe from the monsters because our armor was as high as their attack. Although that didn't work out great for us because they kept critting. And as I said, I don't know, this raising the shield by 1, that's only going to shield like 1 or 2 points of damage for the combat, I think, because usually they're not much longer. Might have been good for the boss fight here, but we had a different strategy. And the stun, as I said, I think the wizard is strictly better. Even the rogue, doubling a die, you'll often be able to do okay damage, especially on later floors where you roll 3 dice and then you can pick one, so you can pick your highest roll to double. And I think that's almost always going to be better than double the armor, even if you're at max armor, which is 8. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just a bit underpowered. Starting with 4 food is nice, but otherwise doesn't even have a lot of health, right? So the rogue has the same health as the crusader. Well, but anyways, that's the crusader for you. I think I'm gonna play a bit of mini rogue still and look at some of the other characters before we return to 2d6 dungeon. But I'll have to think about that off camera. Okay, till then, see you in the next video.